What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, the hype episode 363. It's the World Series this Friday. Biggest matchup that the hobby could hope for. Ohtani, Judge, the Ohtani ball just sold for a lot of money. We'll discuss that. WNBA Select is going to hit Mojobreak.com this Friday as well. Get your teams in on that. Ginter checklist, that's coming out next week. And we're going to be joined by Stephanie Garcia from Mojobreak to talk Star Wars, to talk about her beloved Dodgers, to talk about some pop culture cards as well. So that's an exciting live interview coming up in a little bit. So thanks for joining the show, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Check out Allen and Ginter up for pre-sale on Mojobreak.com. I'm actually surprised that the non-sport spots lasted a day. So if you're watching this now, I think people were sleeping on the fact that if you buy the non-autograph spot in Allen and Ginter, you get all, or the non-sport. Sorry, not
like,
non-autograph spot.
If anything, there's probably going to be more autographs for that spot.
Correct. So it's a star-studded checklist with Usain Bolt, Jaden Daniels, Travis Scott. It's crazy.
I was gonna say it's basically honestly the main spot in Allen and Ginter.
Yeah. So
It's been that way for
forever,
for 15 ever since we've been ripping it.
You're gonna
I gotta say we does anybody rip more Ginter than we do?
No.
I don't think so.
And nobody will this year either.
Year in and year out.
And nobody will this year.
And also, I mean, if you just look at if you go look at any previous year's breaks of Ginter, the non-MLB spot gets the majority of the hits. Like, majority of the hits.
Majority of the cards, right?
Majority of the
so
cards.
Many of the,
Yeah, I think you're really discouraging people from going out and getting their team now. Don't worry.
That's
you
why
can still get some hits from your team.
But what's
maybe.
great about that is that the bulk of the cost is on that spot, that you can get some of your teams for
cheap,
$20, $30, and all cards ship, which I hate that we have to keep saying that, but apparently the breakers don't ship base. But, I know we have the World Series preview, but I wanted to get into the ball first, because did anybody, including people in the chat that are watching this live, people that are listening at home, did anybody think that this ball would sell? The 50th homer ball that was set the new record for the 50-50 season, $4.3 million. Wow.
Insane.
Yeah, I was off by about $4 million.
Yeah, me too.
I actually thought it was going to be 750,000.
Yeah.
4.3. What happens next year when he goes 60-60?
Oh, God. I don't even want to know.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question.
I mean, obviously devalues the 50-50 ball, right?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Oh.
Well, that's that's kind of part of my question. It's like, okay, I know the 50-50 ball is iconic moment, right? But he went over that record technically. So how come the balls after the 50-50 aren't worth as much?
like why is the 51-51 or the 52-52?
Cody, did he have exactly 50 stolen bases?
No,
no.
He had 56 homers and
I have to look at the exact stat
he
line
had, but
here.
he definitely. I get what you're saying. Like, why are we putting the substantial price tag on the 50-50 ball?
Because it was the first.
Because he went like 57 and like 52 or something like that eventually, right?
But also, people do say that game, it was an iconic game, too. Didn't he have 10 RBIs, 3 home runs, 2 stolen bases?
I think
from the game
the
itself,
difference
too.
here is, too, like the Bonds one, like 73 was still the biggest, even though it wasn't the record breaker, because that set it. Whereas this, it's like, I think 50-50 was the mark. Like, after that, it's like, if he goes 60-60, then 60 becomes the one. I think it's those round numbers for this very specific piece of memorabilia. You want the round number one. You don't really care about where the final is.
If I got the 57th home run where he also got another couple steals, I would have been like, my ball's worth $5 million too. It got to be.
I mean, I wouldn't argue.
So how many people had to share this $4.3 million?
Apparently, like 5. Like, I don't know.
But it's going to go to court case litigation.
Did Ohtani get any piece of it?
No.
Since without him,
Ohtani's making enough money. He's
but
fine.
without Ohtani being involved in this, the ball's not worth $4.3 million, right? He had to hit all the home runs. He got to steal all the bases.
Isn't this like double his actual yearly salary?
Yeah,
this ball.
It is.
Because he's making like $2 million
of a mark.
He's making, I think he's making $17.75 an hour.
Yeah, basically.
He's making exactly. He's making minimum wage in the state of California.
Now, I mean, since there was 5 people involved, potentially, was there a little bit of little shill going on? There's a lot of people that were invested in this thing.
I think this is because the price is insane.
Has it been paid for?
That I don't know.
I know. Is this human being gonna come out and say like, "Hey, I got the ball"?
So the previous record holder before this is Mark McGuire's 61st. No, yeah, whatever the record breaker was. Mark McGuire's record breaking.
That one sold for more than the Bonds?
Yes, sold for over $3 million. Bonds once, because at that point, once he was breaking all those records, they were all tainted by
Mark
whatever.
It was Mark
may or may
Echo's
not have
fault.
happened. Yeah, exactly.
It was Mark Echo's
It was
fault.
Mark Echo's fault. In this case, it's this like perfect mix of one, more awareness for this stuff in terms of just memorabilia collecting, way more awareness of it. An international superstar, the best team in baseball. It is a record that nobody has ever done before. It is unprecedented in the game of baseball. So if you want to really support it, and this all coinciding with a Dodger playoff run where he is front and center. I mean, you've all seen it during the games where it's like 5 batters away, Shohei Ohtani. Oh, 2 batters away, Shohei Ohtani. So it's a perfect moment. I don't think this ball sells for this amount 3-4 months from now, even if the Dodgers were to win the World Series.
Everybody knows I love Ohtani, but does something get taken away from this because of the bases being larger?
I think there's something to it.
What does Ricky Anderson have to say about this?
Did Shohei ever get close to stealing 50 bases any other year?
No.
No.
Not even close.
No.
I'd have to look up his previous career high.
Yeah,
I want to say it's like a 30s or low.
Might be onto
below
something
30s.
here.
Now, again, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Can make the argument that because he was a pitcher, he was less likely to put his body on the line doing that type of stuff, so he didn't feel like he should do that type of stuff. Now he's like, well, all I was doing literally on DH, that's it.
I'll say
so
right
why
now,
not
if he doesn't hit 50 home runs next year and have 50 stolen bases and have 50 wins pitching, he's a scrub.
Scrub. Total scrub. Previous career high was 26.
So he, doubled
He doubled it.
Because the bases are 8 times the size.
59 stolen bases and 54 home runs was his final total, by the way.
Bases are as big as the mound now, right?
They're basically the same size as the stadium.
Yeah, no.
It takes up the whole it actually takes up the entire infield.
It's like
one base.
It's like a trampoline at this
Right.
point. You just like bounce one to one. You're like Mario.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a conspiracy enthusiast. Let me say that before I make this next statement. But I wonder if there's anybody out there on the internets that is like, make the base a little bigger. You know, the roadblock of Ippei at the beginning of the season, we dissolve of that really quickly because the plan is Yankees, Dodgers, and a 50-50 by Shohei Ohtani to bring baseball back, baby. That was the script.
But my thing is, why did we make the bases larger?
To have a 50-50 season by Ohtani.
Well, that's not no. But at any point, is anybody going to the games and you're like, you know what this baseball game is missing? More stolen bases.
I think that it was a big topic.
There was a lot of people saying that.
No. Home runs. People want more home runs. They don't want more stolen bases. It's like saying, you know what? You know what's really missing? More sacrifice bunts.
No,
Like,
wait a minute.
I really want a guy to put one down the third base line and move the runner over. I really want that to happen.
But we had more home runs. What was it, 2018, 2017?
No.
We had the most home runs ever recorded in a single season, and all
2
anyone
or
could
3
think.
home runs.
No.
I want like 19 homers a game.
Okay, now we're living in 1997.
We're going to make the 200-foot fences? I mean, 200
Right.
200
Well, bring the fences in, make the balls bigger. There's a lot of things that we can. Aluminum bats.
What
there we go.
happened was you could say whatever you want to say, but a lot of it is this after effect of the Moneyball part of baseball, where everybody was like, yeah, putting the ball in play doesn't matter anymore. Like, stealing bases is not a smart out. That's a bad out. Like, why would you do that? Why would you take yourself off the base path? And so it became 3 true outcomes. It became strikeouts, walks, and home runs. And we had a ton of home runs. And people were like, this is boring. We made home runs boring. That's how bad it got.
So we went to bigger bases.
So we went to bigger bases to encourage more base stealing.
Home runs are boring. We're gonna stolen bases is what we really want.
We need more base.
Nobody wanted stolen bases.
The action is more exciting when the ball's in play.
Steven says a good point. I think they were for injuries like stepping on the bag short,
That too.
twisting ankles as well.
That too.
Could have played into it. There's a lot more space to turn that double play with the slides.
Yep.
Well, let's turn this into the World Series preview. Judge versus Ohtani. The outcome that Major League Baseball absolutely would dream of. I mean, there's no two bigger teams in baseball to be on the main stage come Friday. Who needs this World Series title more for their legacy?
Oh, the Dodgers. Because they haven't won one since '88.
The Mickey Mouse one?
And they
A real
I know
regular
they
season
won
one,
they won the shortened season, but they need to get one that's not a shortened season. And I think they will. And I think that this series does go 7. MLB's not going to let it not go 7.
Well, they brought Apple TVs out there recording.
If they can make it go 9,
so.
they would have it go 9. If they can
Go
make
back
it go,
to 1908 World Series.
they want this to go on for like a month.
CRad, what's your prediction? Who wins and in how many games?
Dodgers in 7.
Oof.
Yeah, it's Dodgers in 7.
Cody.
Oh gosh, are you gonna really make me say Dodgers?
Just say Dodgers in 7.
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say Yankees in 6.
That was actually going to be my pick.
And here's the thing I'm saying, and it's the only thing I will give the Yankees over the Dodgers is pitching. They're starting pitching.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers have done a really good job with the bullpen games. It's actually been their best pitched games. These bullpen games have been their best ones. At some point, that runs out. At some point, to me, maybe that's just old school baseball talking, but I think you saw it in last year's World Series where, like, the Diamondbacks had 4 or 5 guys, like 3, not even, like 3 or 4 guys that they kept going to. You saw this postseason, Emmanuel Clase, best closer in baseball. He got beat up because they kept throwing him out there, and at a certain point in a short series, these relief pitchers throw 2, 3 pitches tops. You know what's coming. At a certain point, it doesn't matter how good it is. You like, Clase, he's going to throw me 103 miles per hour. Better swing fast. I know what's coming. It's going to be hard, but you know it's coming. So
I'm telling you,
that's the event.
So Ohtani's going to come out and start Game 7, and he's going to pitch a perfect game.
Could you imagine?
Well,
could you imagine?
Baseball would break. I mean, it would be like we can't handle this anymore.
It would be the biggest story in sports if he suddenly comes out of the bullpen.
No, it starts the game and just goes perfect game. 27 up, 27 down.
That would be ridiculous.
Boy, baseball would be thrilled.
I think if you had the top 3 stars of this World Series, I think 2 of them are Yankees, to be honest with you. I think you got Ohtani and you have Judge and Soto. So right there, I think star power-wise on the hitting side of things, you got to give it to the Yankees. So
no, I think up and down the lineup, you have a better lineup for the Dodgers than you do the Yankees. Up and down, granted,
the depth is better. There's better depth in the lineup.
I mean, Stanton is not Stanton of a decade ago.
He sure is playing like it right now, though.
I know.
He's sure playing like it. And you know what I've suddenly seen come
would
up?
you take Stanton in your lineup right now over Hernandez?
Right now? Oh, over Kike Hernandez?
No.
Come on now.
Teoscar? Yeah.
Yeah, right now in this moment.
No,
this moment. Yes. Because of what he's doing right now. Over 162?
You put the Dodger uniform
Absolutely
on,
not.
he's just like, I
and
hate them.
Freeman,
But over 162? No. I'm not doing that.
Freeman isn't Atlanta Braves Freeman either right now.
His angle is. We're going to find out. He's been playing on a bad angle.
Bad wheel.
He's gonna do the Kirk Gibson.
He probably will.
He's gonna hit a home run. He's gonna chug along.
I'm saying all this fully aware that the Dodgers are. I'd say Yankees, but I also am like Dodgers might. It's a coin flip. This is one of the biggest coin flip World Series. Just the postseason in general was a coin flip, especially now that it's the 2 top teams. It is the ultimate coin flip World Series, and I, even as a Giants fan, will fully admit it's great for baseball. Anybody saying, "Oh my gosh, it's the 2 villains, it's not good," shut up. It's good for baseball. It's the biggest stars. It spits in the face of your owner that has a net worth of $5 billion and says, "Oh, no, we can't spend. We can only spend $80 million on our payroll." No, you spend the money, you win. Like, it just
doesn't usually work. But
all
this
right,
year did.
all right. So we've already got our predictions for who's going to win. What about World Series MVP? Where if you're betting, who are you putting it on?
Aaron Judge for me.
Ohtani.
Arson Judge, huh? Arson Judge.
He's got to break out at some point. I think it's Soto.
Soto.
Yeah, Soto won that. He walked off on that last game. Or
yeah.
not walk off, but
Ohtani.
won the game.
Soto.
Dude, I think Ohtani just finishes the story, dude. This is his season, man.
I will say, if the Dodgers win, and even if it's close, they're gonna find a way to. They want to give it to Ohtani to finish the fairy tale season.
I'm gonna go on a limb here. It's going to be Will Smith.
Plus
And-
800.
And why it's going to be Will Smith is because it is going to go to Game 7. And he is going to have the deciding hit to win the game. And it's going to be in that. And I'm not saying he's going to have a great
These are going to be.
series.
You're saying there's going to be like 1-0 games then, like 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Nobody's going to hit home runs.
No,
Will
there-
Smith
no.
is
I
gonna
mean,
win it.
no. Will Smith can hit.
He can hit.
He's going to come up. He's going to hit. I'm not.
I think he's been bad. I think he's bad like 170.
Yeah, but
season.
But without him, he calling the games. He's doing the Buster Posey thing where he is commanding that pitching staff.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
He is doing a great job.
Which, as far as and to take this back to the hobby, because I know there's a lot of people that have Judge and Ohtani cards, and Soto and Will Smith. I'm sure there's Freddie Freeman collectors out there.
I actually do have a Will Smith, some Will Smith.
Nice.
I actually
Fresh
do
Prince.
have them stashed away.
Who gets the bigger hobby boost if we're looking at Ohtani and Judge as the two main? So who needs this more for their cards?
Judgy for sure.
I was gonna say right.
Yeah,
That's a pretty clear
But
answer.
but Ohtani can just go to another level. If he is the World Series MVP and he basically wins the series for the Dodgers and gets his first title, first year in Dodger blue.
Oh yeah.
And
Is-
it's the future speculation, too, of like, that was year one. We've got 9 more of this guy, plus probably playing with Mookie Betts for about 6 or 7 of those years. He's playing with Freddie Freeman for about 6, 7 of those years, whatever it may be.
Giants can see if they could they figure out a way to go to the AL?
We don't need to talk about that.
The AL would be
Giants
better. Like,
Giants haven't earned a discussion
Can
at
we
the
just-
table here.
how about we make the A's go to the NL West?
Great. Let's
And
swap.
then we'll go to the AL West.
Cool.
Well, and this is actually a good time, as I want to ask Cody a question and see if this has ever happened, to remind you guys that more than likely it's Ohtani and Judge that win the MVPs. We're doing a lot of logo fractor. We're doing a lot of Topps Chrome these days in breaks. Those Judge and Ohtani cards will net you a minimum of $20 to trade it into your local card shop to get more cards on the base cards. Now, not to mention how much some of the numbered cards go for. But my question is, how many times in history has somebody won the season MVP and a World Series MVP?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because could this be? I mean, I'm sure it's happened.
I'm just even thinking, when's the last time the MVP, just MVPs winning the World Series in the same year, period, is
Right.
a pretty rare thing. I want to say Altuve did it one of those years. Posey did in 2012. That's man,
but
I'm
didn't win
probably
the World
forgetting
Series.
somebody.
Who won the World Series MVP in 2012?
2012 would have been Sandoval. 17 was
Oh, yeah.
Correa, I want to say. So they didn't do it. I would have to look. Yeah, this one's a good trivia question. If anyone in the chat knows, let us know, because I like that question.
I feel like maybe some of those 90s Yankees teams, like Jeter or something. Maybe.
Jeter never won an MVP.
Oh, he never won an MVP.
Yeah.
Huh? And we know Bonds won a lot of MVPs, but did not win a World Series MVP.
Let's see. World Series in regular 5 times in the same year, and it has not happened since 1980.
Jeez.
That would have been Mike Schmidt.
I can already see the tops now.
Yep. It happened a lot. It's literally 5 times, and they all happened between 1963 to 1980.
So it hasn't happened in our lifetime.
No.
Any of us sitting here. So.
Schmidt, Willie Stargell the year before, Reggie
Pops.
Jackson, Frank Robinson in 66, Sandy Koufax in 63. This
Wow.
would be 44 years later. This would have
Jeez.
happened.
I mean,
And again,
and
there
if
was-
you add that onto
And it was
Ohtani's
a Dodger
resume.
too. The last time it happened, it was a Dodger, so
was
it's
a-
gonna be
it was a-
another Dodger.
It was a,
Oh, rest in peace, Fernando
It was a
Val.
Philly. It was a Philly.
Fernando Val is way less.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fernando Mania, man, that is.
Rest in peace, man.
There was. I'll just point to. I think it was Jeff Passan put it up, and it really puts it into perspective, like how good he was. It said here are his first 8 starts from when he was 20 years old in his rookie season. Every game was a complete game. It's insane.
And just what he did internationally for
absolutely
players,
on
too.
top
I
of
mean,
it all, being one of the maybe the biggest Mexican-born star of all time, doing it in L.A.
He was kind
Such
of
an
like
impact,
like Ohtani before Ohtani though,
Yeah.
with like the amount of like fanfare he got,
Yeah.
like around the league, not just people would pay attention to whatever Fernando was doing for. There was a period of time there,
Yep.
where it's very similar with Ohtani now.
Yeah,
So
very, very similar.
Very exciting, though, to see what happens. Are they doing, I know the game's Friday. Are they doing Friday, Saturday, or are they
Friday,
spacing it?
Saturday. I think they're very strategic of when they put these games.
No Sunday games.
No NFL Sunday games. I think, and there's no Halloween game. So
And maybe
actually
no
worked out
Monday,
nicely.
or Monday they're competing
Monday, they are going to compete with Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
can
only time.
but you can't compete against Sunday night football.
No,
No.
that's
can't.
the number one rated show on
Well,
television.
especially this
Yeah,
weekend coming
and
up.
yeah,
too.
if they do go to a
Who's
game
Sunday night? Is
6
that the Niners?
I didn't look. Oh yeah,
Must
it is
win.
Niners.
Niners Cowboys.
It's Niners Cowboys.
Oh,
What's
how about them boys?
What's here? I'll look it up. What Monday night is? If we're gonna be like, yeah, no, we're all watching. I
Actually,
mean, I'm watching the.
this is-
Giants and Steelers. Yeah, definitely watching the World Series.
This is a big game. This is a difference between the Niners being sellers or buyers
Well,
at the
we-
trade
oh,
deadline.
We got
boy.
spanked by Daddy again.
I mean,
got
lose
spanked by Daddy.
against Dallas and
boy.
might have to,
if you
might have
lose
to,
to
might have
this
to trade
Dallas
Brock
team,
Purdy away.
if you lose to this Dallas team, there are some real big questions because the Cowboys stink.
They had a week off. They had a week
suck.
off. Give us a week off.
They got a week off.
A week off to prepare.
Week off to have Jerry Jones try to fire the radio host, try to fire the coach, try to fire everybody.
And they got absolutely embarrassed by the Lions. I mean, it wasn't. The Lions were like scoring with linemen. Like
Lions
they
are
were
really
just-
good,
Lions a good team.
but
They're a very good team.
the Saints are not a good team, and they got embarrassed by them. So
Yep, we'll see. Yeah, Allen and Ginter coming out next week, next Friday. We're going to be doing some breaks at Mojobreak.com and on Fanatics Live.
Is it Friday or
And-
Wednesday?
Maybe it's Wednesday. It's the 30th, right?
it will be the 30th. Yes,
So that is Friday. Is that Friday?
it's Wednesday.
Wednesday. Jeez. I
Wednesday.
can't keep up with my
Halloween's the
days.
31st. That's a Thursday. So.
That's a Thursday. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, Thursday night football on Halloween.
Thursday night football on
Nice.
Halloween. Sorry, kids, no candy.
Turn that light off.
Yep, sorry.
But-
Alan Kirker on.
Yeah. But one thing to look at is I think it's one of the biggest star-studded checklists. I mean, not only do you have a great baseball rookie class that you're already chasing, but you've got, you got your first chance at Jaden Daniels. The dude's on fire. The Commanders might win that division. You've got a Usain Bolt, which I believe he doesn't have any autos out there, and we've been looking for his autos for a while. You got Topanga, Daniel Fishel, Jason Aldean, to name a few. There's a ton. Travis Scott's in here for you guys that missed out on the Travis Scott stuff from Fanatics Fest. So they also have ballpark food. Did you see that on the checklist? We talked about
Ballpark food.
Yeah, they have
Really?
that on the checklist. I was looking through it.
Like
Okay.
the good old fashioned hot dog.
Like a good old hot dog. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a good old hot dog card. Yeah.
They have the ballpark bites box loaders, and then they have the ballpark bites minis.
They put the food in the box.
Yeah,
What?
there's the hot
That'd be
dog, the corn
delicious.
dog,
Wait. You
chicken
know
tenders.
what? You know what? This is such a. Have they ever done this in Alan Ginter? Scratch and sniff.
I mean, this would be a good.
I
time.
mean, we remember that a couple years ago we opened those Beefs and Butthead cards, which were super fun, and they still had the scratch and sniff odor in them. About 25, 30 years later, it's pretty impressive.
They should have like a bag of peanuts or
Yeah.
some sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
As a box topper for breakers. I mean, they need snacks. Just pop them open.
Yeah.
What about like some boxes having a snap case, right, with the card in the middle, right, but surrounded by Cracker Jacks.
Cracker.
Just might kill somebody in 10 years. But
But
So what kind of ballpark food we talking about here?
I mean, your
nothing's out of the. I don't know.
I
they
mean, not-
do have poutine, which I'm assuming is a Toronto card.
That's
but,
I mean, that's a
Skyline Chili, Cincinnati, Cuban sandwich, maybe Miami.
Miami for sure.
Pizza could be anywhere.
Anywhere.
Tater
York.
tots, Polish
New York.
sausage, steak sandwich, corned beef sandwich, crab mac and cheese. Is that going to be?
That's got to be San Francisco. It's got to be. Although I don't even know where you can get a crab mac and cheese at the Giants.
I don't.
game,
Yeah, I think
honestly.
I mean, maybe the
You can
crab
get a
sandwich.
lobster. Yeah, you can get a
Yeah.
crab sandwich for $75 at the game. It's
I
about
actually-
this big.
I had one at Levi
They're-
this
they're-
weekend for
they're-
$30.
They're
but, yeah.
really, really yummy.
They
They're
are
really
very good.
Yeah.
Cuban sandwich, yeah. So pizza. It looks like the 1 in 35 hobby on the minis. So you're only going to get like not even one a box.
It'll be a tough set to build.
We should do a bounty on that since we talk about food on the hype all the time.
Yeah.
Should do some kind of bounty.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, yeah, we got Stephanie joining us here shortly.
Yes, actually, she's ready to go.
All right.
Yeah, but real quick before then, give me your number one non-baseball auto on the checklist, because I've got a few that I put out a video said here are the few I'm looking at. Usain Bolt feels like one that I would be very excited to collect.
I like the Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean's going to be a big one.
Yep, that'll be a good one.
Jason Aldean will be a very big one. I'll throw out, I put it on the video. I don't know if you guys have seen the Netflix show, I Think You Should Leave, with Tim Robinson. Comedian Tim Robinson is in there. I think it's one of the funniest shows on TV, and he's got a card in there. So I will be collecting that.
Who is this?
Tim Robinson. He used to be an SNL cast member for like a year. Went over to, did a show on Comedy Central for a while. Now has a sketch comedy show on Netflix. Very funny. If you've seen the meme of the guy in the hot dog costume, that's Tim Robinson.
You should have had a mini employee autograph. We should have, kissed the ring a little bit. There's 10 Tops employees.
That's true.
On here.
That's true.
It's not one of your favorites?
That's very true. We should. I mean, Tops employees. Those are always the biggest chase in every year.
I can't wait till somebody pulls it on Twitter. This is what I got in my box.
Well,
every year.
It's also like when people pull it out of a blaster or a retail SKU, they're just like, I mean, it's so hard to hit an autograph, and that's when they hit. They're just like, I can't believe I got ripped off.
I mean, yeah, Jason Aldean's a big one. I mean, we're Metro Boomin, I know will do well out there in the on the internets. Chuck Norris. I mean, everybody's gotta have a Chuck Norris autograph, right? That's a good one.
That's a great one. That's one that I'm familiar with. There's probably about, if you went through these, there's probably about 40% that I have probably never even heard of.
The Kid Leroy.
Yeah, that one could be big.
No idea.
Quavo in there. Well, he's been in a couple, I want to say. Quavo's already been in
I wouldn't be able to
few sets.
I wouldn't be able to tell you what he is known for.
Who?
Okay.
Quavo?
Quavo.
Yeah.
He's
I've
in
heard the
Amigos.
name.
He's in Amigos.
Migos.
Oh, Dan Soder. Dan Soder's in there. He's a good
Oh,
comedian.
yeah, he's good.
Dan Soder's really funny.
He's
Great
good.
impersonations, too. Yeah, good list of comedians in there. Good list of good soccer as well. Was it Sophia Smith and Mallory Swanson both in there from
Do
U.S.
they have
Women's
Andrew
Soccer?
Dice Clay in there?
Yeah, the Dice Man's in. No.
You know who's weird that's missing?
imagine?
Bo Nix.
Yeah, no Bo.
Oh, you're right.
No Bo Nix.
There
Because
is
they can
no
only
Bo
put
Nix.
3 to 4 with the licensing. They can't have that many. So I think they chose who they could.
And there's the top 2 picks in the NBA draft that we had a terrible time trying to name last.
so that's what it is. It's 5. Yeah, so they can have 5 Players Association players without having a license. So they have 3 football players and 2 basketball players.
Got it. That makes sense then.
Before Panini starts like going, hey, let's figure this out. Like we can't have 6. We can have 5. Katie Ledecky too. I mean, that's going to be a big one.
Yeah,
as well.
Ledecky will be a big one. Yeah, another chance to get some big Olympic autos as well, kind of riding off too of the success of the Olympics. But also, if we're talking Boy Meets World, Ryder Strong, who was, I don't remember his best friend's name. Sean. Yeah, he's in this as well.
Really?
So
Sean and Topanga's in this.
Why didn't they have a dual auto of that?
I don't know if there's a Sean Topanga dual auto. Maybe.
Should.
Wait, didn't have Mr. Feeney?
He's getting. He's alive. He's with us.
No, he is.
Yeah, the great William Daniels. Yeah.
Ben Savage?
And
I
no
mean,
Ben Savage.
Feeney also the voice of Knight Rider, right? The kid.
Yeah.
Kid Knight Rider. Yeah.
Well, we
The
know we had the
great-
Danielle Official first pitch autos, so when they had her in the sesh, they were just
That's
like,
another
here.
one. Be ready for breaking purposes. I have a hunch that she will be wearing a Phillies uniform in that card. So it is not a Phillies card. If you want the Topanga card, because I just have a feeling that's what they're going to do. Who was it? They did it with the guy from Rookie of the Year, where they put him in a Cubs uniform.
The guy from
And people were like,
American
that's a
Pie.
Cubs card. Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy from American Pie. That's a Cubs card. No, it's a non-baseball.
We're going to have a huddle on that. We're going to have a huddle on that.
Yeah.
And
It
they
always
also
happens.
have the
No,
great.
we put it in the description.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We also have a pretty good relic cut signature checklist with Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Kirby Puckett, John F. Kennedy, Yogi Berra. So this should be a fantastic.
You want to know
release.
something low key? I'll give you guys a tip right now. If you guys haven't checked out the checklist, the Angels have a lot of Ohtani autos. On
Really?
their checklist.
Really?
The Dodgers only have 1.
So this is something I don't remember what product it was. I think it was Cosmic recently, but it's not Starry Night, but the one that's similar to that. It has them on the Ohtani on the checklist as an Angel, and it says on the back Angels, but his card is clearly
Yes.
in a Dodgers uniform.
Yeah, that one was weird.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was a mess up or clearly a mess up. Like,
that one seems like a mess up.
yeah, like you can't make the argument of like, nope, that's an Angels card. It's like he's clearly wearing Dodger blue.
Dodger blue,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
He has like at least four autograph sets as an Angel.
That's cool. That's impressive. I mean, He's always going to have some Angels stuff in products pretty much every year till he's done, because there's so many, whether it be throwback cards or great moments or whatever it is. Like, it's always going to be done. Angel stuff. So
Yeah.
at least you have that, Angels fans.
Absolutely.
He may be gone, but not from your hearts.
Damn, dude.
Who's Tenzing Norgay? He's on the cut signature.
Boy, you
checklist.
are. Who now?
Tenzing Norgay.
Okay. Where are history buffs?
Tenzing Norgay.
Oh, okay. I say that like I know who this is.
That's the only one that jumps out like I don't know what that is.
But this makes sense. One of the first 2 people to summit Mount Everest.
Ah.
There you go.
Sick.
Nepalese mountaineer, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All
There
right.
you go. With Edmund Hillary in May of 19.
That's actually pretty sick.
That's pretty cool.
That's actually really cool.
yeah.
That's a very, very cool one. Yeah. Would never
Sweet.
in a million years. Would never want to go. up
Like
to
that's the
top.
kind of cool stuff that I love when they add. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Shall we bring in our guest? Let's see. Let me get this going. Here we go. There she is. Joining us now. Stephanie, can you hear us, first of all? And can we hear you? Oh, wait. I got to unmute you. There we go. I think we can hear you now. Stephanie, how's it going?
Great. How was everyone?
Cody.
Thank you for having me on.
I guess put on the screen. So
Okay.
I
One
can't
second.
hear anything.
One
Hi,
second.
Can you
Stephanie.
hear me? Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I
Yep.
can't hear you.
We're getting.
I can
we're
hear
getting
you.
Everything worked out.
Cody's working on it.
Here. How about now? Are we? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
There we go.
I can hear you
We
good.
We can hear her.
I can hear you good.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
absolutely
okay.
can. There we go. We got it. See, we're trying out the new bring in guest live, so there's some kinks here and there. But our guest today here on the Hype is Stephanie Garcia, Mama Breaks, joining us once again on the show. Stephanie, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey everyone, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to have you, and having you right as your team is about to take on the Yankees in the World Series. Let's just start there. We talked about it a lot. I think the room is split on where the series is going to go. So your unbiased, or as unbiased as you can be, prediction for this World Series.
I don't think I can be unbiased
course.
at all.
Yeah.
But even if I'm telling you, even if I'm unbiased, I'm still saying Dodgers. I still think we have a special team. I think Fernando Valenzuela's passing last night's going to give us a little bit of an extra, players are going to be playing out there with heart, and I'm just really excited for the series.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for it. Even as a Giants fan, I'm super stoked because it is like, we were just saying, like, anyone who wants to be down on this, oh, it's the two, the you can buy your team, blah blah blah, and I say, yeah, you can. Who cares? Like, then go spend the money and go develop these guys. Like, I don't know, like, do better is part of what.
Spend money, exactly.
Yeah.
You guys know it takes money to make money, so
Exactly. Look, yeah, we're
Definitely.
trying to do. They've been trying to do that in San Francisco for the Giants, and yeah, exactly. It's just basic economics at this point. But hobby wise, we were just going back and forth too. Who do you think has more to gain, Ohtani or Judge, for winning a World Series here?
more to gain, I would say, I don't know. That's a really tough question because both have had incredible seasons in the past few years and their hobby values have gone crazy, right? You just look at Judge after that home run record season, his stuff went up like crazy, but that's a really hard question. I think it's a series that's just perfect for the hobby. Either way
Yeah.
it goes, it's going to be great for both of their cards. And I don't know if there's one particular. I guess my mind goes to who doesn't have a chance of coming back. I mean, I think that's a better question. So
That's a great point, because I think for the Dodgers, like, if they lose this, which if they do, there's still, I think, a lot of people who feel like they have Ohtani for 9 more years. They have Betts for
Exactly.
a long time. They have a lot of these guys Ohtani's going to pitch next year. Like, they can come back. Where, like, Juan Soto might not be a Yankee next year. Like,
Absolutely.
this could be the last shot. Yeah.
so considering that, I would go Judge.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think so. I think so too. Judge definitely the most. Like, Ohtani's legacy feels like so locked in, and I gotta ask too, like, as a fan, because since 1988, the only other World Series title is 2020.
2020. Correct.
There's a lot of fans, there's a lot of Giants fans, who like to poke fun at that one and go, "Oh, that's your only one, ha ha ha, very cute." Is there part of you that's like, winning this would be like full vindication, or is it like it doesn't matter? I got to see one. It doesn't matter that everyone was playing under the same conditions. Like I don't care, I got one. But like, is there still a little part of like I want to feel vindicated and win a full 162 full playoff World Series?
Vindication's not on the menu for me. I really don't care. I think people love to hate the Dodgers, so even if we win, it's going to be the whole argument about buying a team and buying a team to win and all of this. So I just think 2020 was well deserved. We don't get enough credit for going through the Astros cheating scandal or the Red Sox cheating scandals, both
true.
World Series titles that we lost and we were deserving of, I feel. So I just want to say, like, keep hating on the Dodgers and let's go. World Series title number 2 in my life.
There you
So
go.
I'm excited.
CRad over here smiling. He's become a de facto. There he is. He's become like a de facto Dodger fan since the A's are leaving. So he's
Yep.
like, I got to hitch my wagon to the Dodgers.
It's a great time to be a Dodger fan with
Dodgers all the
Ohtani.
way.
100%.
LA, stand up.
Oh man,
That's right. That's right.
What have I done? I'm in enemy territory right now. All right. Anyway, I'm only kidding. Stephanie, I do want to ask you about the year in the hobby you've had. This is we've seen Mama Breaks really grow on their outreach on social media, on Fanatics Live. Just kind of go through like where you were. Like, I mean, it's actually almost been a year since we had you on, which coincides with the release of what we're going to talk about later, Star Wars Chrome Galaxy, which I can't
Yeah.
wait. It's going to be so fun. So how's the year in the hobby been for you? The growth you've seen, all that. What have been some of the highlights for you in this hobby this last year?
Man, that's a really great question. I'm sorry. Definitely grown a lot since then. I was there by chance with eBay doing the eBay Open. I was speaking there and I just happened to stop by and it was Galaxy Chrome release week that weekend and we ripped the box and I was on. And since then, I don't know, the breaking business, I've really focused on that and we're now breaking 6 to 7 days a week. So that's grown a lot. I've grown so much more and just like posting more content and figuring out what works more for our brand and building our brand. I want to say some of the highlights since then has been, I don't know, I want to say too many to count. The biggest change in what I've done is definitely travel more. So we've done a lot of traveling content where we visited Rich Layton and at Layton Sports Cards. Kind of did a really great May the 4th specially themed break that day. I thought that was really incredible and kind of just like trying to push the buttons and trying to create more experiences for the people who we serve. That was a big highlight for me doing that with the Laytons for May the 4th, getting to visit David Adams and doing a big Series 2 update baseball break with them in Buffalo was another really great highlight. And going to Spain to watch the Women's Champions League final and getting to go there with Tops and speak to other women who were interested in breaking and, being there to see that historical win for Barcelona in Spain, I would say are just some of the top 3 for me. Just
That's
right there.
incredible. I forgot that. Yeah, you got to go to Spain for that event. That's incredible. Like, how much of the hobby vibe did you get from fans there? Like, did you get a chance to like see any local shops? See like what are people collecting? What are the differences? Obviously, soccer is number one. The stickers I know are like way bigger deal internationally than they even are here. Like, what were some of the things that stood out to you there?
You absolutely hit the nail on the head there. They grew up doing stickers and cards is kind of like a still kiddish thing and not as familiar.
Mm.
I was in Bilbao, Spain, which is like not the main city there, so there was actually no card shops nearby. They said, I guess like one was like a couple hours away, and it was like primarily
Oh
TCG.
wow.
So just sports just shops in general, there are not sports card shops are not as common as here. And I remember somebody telling me a wild number, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. And it's definitely very soccer centered. So football. Oh, their football cards is everything, and kind of baseball cards is a very American, foreign thing to them. So
Oh yeah, I would
yeah,
imagine. Yeah, I mean, even like I think basketball, we've seen it. Like that's maybe the closest thing that we would come internationally. But even that, like you see in the, I think that gives you an understanding of like, oh, this is still in this area of part of the world. Like it's still kind of a niche to get into that type of stuff. So, but man, that's so cool that you got to experience that. And you kind of mentioned it, like in a lot of ways, you have become a like the kind of go-to. I mean, I can speak for us for Star Wars. That this has become where you found I think you become a trusted voice, a huge fan favorite among Star Wars collectors. So, first of all, for that to happen too, I got to imagine being like a lifelong Star Wars fan, being like, man, this is that you get to have your life be like, I get to do be the Star Wars person in this hobby. That's rad.
Trust me, that's not a responsibility that I do not take lightly.
Oh yeah,
I'm very grateful. I'm very just, feel extremely grateful for the opportunity to be that person and think that when people think of Star Wars cards, they think of me as an unbelievable feeling. Never gets old. And I just I just keep the people that I serve in mind, the community that surrounds me around all that, the people that come to my streams and want to rip with me is just that's what I love the most. That's what I wake up in the morning and I go pinch myself. I can't believe I get to do this and just enjoy Star Wars with other Star Wars nerds. So yeah, I definitely have embraced that role. I'm very all Star Wars out my car and my office and everything
yeah.
because it's definitely built a big part of building what the business that we have today. So yeah.
It's super. As someone who just loves the movies, loves in that world, like yeah, it's been great to see the. I mean, it's always been like a significant part of the hobby, but like especially this last year. Actually, I want to hear CRad. I want to get your thoughts on this quick. Like, I think in the last year, something like we kind of talked about last year with Star Wars is that is this going to get repetitive to a certain point? Like it's the same 9 main movies, and there is a lot more, but like there was the feeling last year where it was like there's a lot of sets, and this year they've really narrowed it to the ones that really work, and especially the ones that maybe we thought, oh, those ones didn't work as well. I think they did a ton of improvement. So like, C-Rad, I know you break a lot of it, so I actually want to hear from you. Like, what do you feel about like the last year? Do you think Star Wars made a lot of improvement, or is there still like room to kind of maybe even fix like, oh, they maybe don't need to have this product, or like they can still improve on this one? Like, what do you think overall?
I'm not gonna lie.
You
I
tell
didn't
the
get
truth,
I didn't
C-Rad.
get a chance to open up a lot of Chrome because we were in the national,
Oh, that's
and then
right.
everybody at the office was when I came back. I was like, "Damn, y'all didn't leave me no boxes." Like, I only got to open up like 4 boxes before we left for the national. So,
Damn.
you know what? But I know that 2024 was it 2024 this year, right?
Yeah.
Topps Chrome Star Wars.
Yeah.
I know it was a super obviously hyped up set, and it's something that I've just been saying about Topps since Fanatics has taken over. They've just been doing a really good job being more mindful with all their properties and releases and adding value and changing up the designs of things. So I think that's just naturally what happened with the Star Wars franchise. They like looked at it like, okay, how can we improve this? How can we make it better? And I think they've been doing that. I think the main thing that one of the main products I kind of look at every year and I'm like, I don't know if we need that. It's probably like the Chrome Black release, right? Because you only get one card, and it's like oftentimes it's not a lot of the characters that you obviously that people the average person knows. So, but in general, like yeah, I think they've been improving the brand a lot, and I can tell like by just how many people wanted Star Wars Chrome this year that you know what I'm saying. It's like they're improving with it, and but I didn't get to open any of it.
Damn.
I wish I did.
We should have saved you some boxes. I don't know why no one was saving any boxes.
Oh
for
well,
you.
when it's hot, it's hot.
Yeah,
You gotta sell
exactly.
it.
Exactly. No, I mean, even like, I think I went down to Burbank the week after Fanatics Fest, and that stuff was still like, I mean, it's also a great environment for it. Like, you're right across from Disneyland, so I think you're attracting the types of collectors that like to get that stuff. And even, yeah, I think we had our guy, Alex, who's a big Star Wars collector, was opened like 2 or 3 boxes for himself. And
That's
it
where
was,
they went.
yeah, that's there. Yeah, he got the last couple of boxes. Sorry, C-Rad. And yeah, just that alone was like I felt like that was there's gonna be we'll do end of the year awards in December, and I think if there's an award for like most improved product, to me, Topps Chrome Star Wars is like way up on that list. What do you think, Stephanie?
100%. I like to think that the first product, the first year Star Wars Chrome was just rushed.
Yeah,
I think you could see it a lot in the quality. I think the same of Chrome Black. I don't think necessarily that it's not something that we didn't need. It was just very rushed. checklist was way too long, way too many characters that people just did not want, or just even, you know, actors and actresses that don't really sign. By not really signing, I mean like there's no effort in the signature
Yeah.
at all, and I feel like that makes a huge difference for fans. And I just think, given the fact that we did have almost 7 SKUs last year, and this year we're almost done with the year, and we're only getting our third next week, shows you that they are really taking their time this year,
Yeah.
and they're making sure they're crossing their eyes. I mean, dotting their I's and crossing their T's. And I have had the pleasure of meeting some people on the team this year at the Tops conference, and they're very serious about putting on product for true fans of Star Wars. So you see that in all the inserts that they're adding. You see that in just the way the insert sets are configured, just the way the checklist is configured. Like one thing for 24 Chrome that they did is they were very careful about adding animated um, characters, because they felt like it should be a more live action kind of set, and
Yeah.
saving maybe the animated characters for another set like Chrome Black is a better way to like kind of appeal to collectors who prefer to collect animated versus live action. And just little intricate decisions like that shows that they're putting way more care into it, and that's why it's showing. That's why it's going up.
Yeah, and this is not a disrespect to some of the very, very talented voice actors who work on Star Wars stuff, but yeah, there is a whole parade of live actors that you can use for auto subjects, and especially in Star Wars, a fandom where like you can be the guy who says one line in the background at Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi, and that can be your whole career, is going to conventions and being like, that was me, I'm that guy, and you can make a living off of that in Star Wars. Like, we will eat that stuff up. We like that stuff. Like,
The
that's what's
perfect
fun.
example of that is the trooper that says traitor in the
Yes. Oh
sequels.
my gosh.
We actually have him in the Chrome Black set. That was one of like the funnest pulls.
Yes. Yeah. The traitor. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, I was gonna say my favorite from Force Awakens, who's the guy who does the 1/4 portion, but that's Simon Pegg. He's kind of a big actor, so that'd actually be just a cool auto to get. But yeah, so it's yeah, Topps Chrome Star Wars has been a huge improvement. Now though, we are actually getting, like, I think for a lot of Star Wars fans, one of the most anticipated, if not the most anticipated release of the year. Galaxy Chrome is coming, and it feels like too a lot of like it's once again, I think you're seeing Topps is not just resting on their laurels with this, which they could have done like what Galaxy Chrome was last year, and I think most collectors would have been like, great, it's still one of the coolest sets, it's got the best artwork, the numbered cards are awesome. But like the fact that we're getting, I believe, the last I checked, one guaranteed auto, and then they're gonna have a case hit. I think it was called the Armor. Let me look it up. There's Armor Shadow Box, I think, which I think is a relic. You could correct me. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a relic. Um, so it already looks like, I feel like the hype for this one is gonna be way, way higher than last year's.
Like, I'm back on that same theory that last year was just rushed. I think
Yeah.
they saw a huge uptick in like demand with Galaxy Chrome in 21. They weren't sure about it in 22, and they kind of just had like this like revolving, like, we got to put out more product, we got to put out more product because they want it. Whereas now they're scaling back and going, how can we make this better? We've been waiting for it all year, and they really went all out. Like these black canvas, which they got like the biggest. Well, I don't know if they're the biggest, but really important animators for Star Wars, and they have like their sketches on like an acetate card. Those are going to be great chases. Like that's such a great idea, innovation. One of the things that they announced at the Tops conference in February that they finally announced will be in Galaxy Chrome is the Master. What is it? What are they called?
Oh, the
The
Masterwork.
one with the
Oh,
Force.
yes, that's right.
So
I
there
think they're all
only
super fractors,
exists
right?
in superfractor form for
Yeah.
each character, and I am assuming it's going to be like a cross product, like a hidden gems type of thing. I'm not sure, but that's what I imagine when they announced. And I just think that it's definitely an improvement from 22 and 23. And the only reason why 21 is always going to be 21 is because it's what started it all. And just the fact that it's so short printed and the original parallels and all that, it's always going to hold true and hold value. But yeah, I guess my only complaint about this year's Galaxy Chrome is that they got rid of the atomic refractors.
I
I
saw
don't
that.
know. but I feel like we've been on a atomic refractor purge because that's my favorite parallel out of Bowman's Best every year. And this year it got replaced with the mini diamond that looks exactly like the speckle. So I'm not sure. I don't know. That's like one question I have that I always forget to ask, but
You know
not
what
sure
I
about that one.
you know what I always say. Cracked ice,
Always
always nice.
That yeah, I mean we're just purging that though. I agree. I love
I don't
atomics.
understand why. Yeah, I don't understand why they're moving away from cracked ice and going to mini diamonds. They do look very similar to the speckle.
The only thing I can think is it's like, do they want to separate themselves of like we can't be like trying to do the whole Panini calls it cracked ice, we call it atomic. Panini calls it this, we call it that. Like, do they want to try to bring something different? It's like, no, this is our thing. They can't replicate this, but I'm sure there's other stuff that Panini brings.
Atomic refractors have been a staple in Bowman's Best for
Right,
years.
Right,
They've
right.
been since the '90s, so I'm not sure.
I
I
don't get it either.
get it.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
I just think there's top, and I'm sure Tops knows this. There's a reason why people love the Sapphire brand so much. Part of it is because
That's
it's
what
the
it is.
cracked ice atomic.
Yeah,
right?
that's yeah.
And like the fact that, but in it's blue, it looks awesome every time, every single time. But like, yeah, I think you lean into the. I don't think you take that parallel away. You should kind of lean into that parallel because it is a lot of collectors' favorite parallel, easily.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. It's just strange to me that they're making that decision, and maybe it's they're trying to push the focus to be like, oh, if you want it, we have the Sapphire product that is basically that with all the cards. That's the only other thing I could think.
Galaxy Chrome Sapphire is not something I don't think
No.
they would. No, I don't
No.
think
Oh
that
yeah.
they
No.
wouldn't not
Oh
do
no.
it.
You're
Like,
right. You're
why
right. No,
not?
absolutely. That's what. Yes.
So maybe
Oh my
that's. I
God.
mean, that's a great point. Maybe they're just saying, "Hey, Sapphire's so popular. Let's just keep making Sapphire sets, but we can't have it repeat too much and have
Yeah,
these atomics."
yeah,
So
I can see that.
maybe a Bowman's Best Sapphire that would I would forgive them for getting rid of my atomics
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. All
Bowman's
right.
Best Sapphire would be sick.
That might be the move. We're just gonna get everything Sapphire. You heard it here. That's what we're getting. Which we did have. What, the Phantom Menace Sapphire 2 was like. We still have a couple of boxes of those sitting there. Like every once in a while, I see somebody rip a personal, like, and they still look great, and I still love them.
I don't even know what that. Well, tell me about that product. What is that?
Phantom Menace Sapphire. It's basically like it's basically like remember they did the Star Wars Series 1 Sapphire of the classic set. This is the classic Phantom Menace set, but all sapphired out with scenes from the movie, characters, and all that. So it's the same concept, just with Phantom Menace scenes and characters with
Got
the
it.
25th anniversary. They're doing some special 25th anniversary Phantom Menace stuff in here too. That's been interesting to see as a Star Wars fan, is the evolution of going from people absolutely despising that movie to like it is among the most popular stuff I feel like for collectors now is stuff from Episode 1, stuff from Phantom Menace.
Boo.
So are we staunchly still a Phantom Menace hater? C-Rad?
Yes.
Still to this
Yeah.
day.
I mean, I
No
think Darth.
way.
Obviously, I think Darth Maul is cool.
Darth Maul was
Um,
always sick. He was always cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Padme.
Yeah.
But I remember because I watched that movie as a teenager, obviously, and I guess I kind of came out kind of liking it, but then it was I feel like as a teenager I enjoyed the second and third one more. Those first out of those first 3 episodes.
I think that's fair. Yeah, Stephanie, where do you? I don't know if we've ever gone into like where do you stand on those movies?
I love everything, and I
Yeah.
get I get a lot of crap for that for everything. I just love I'm a lover of things. I cried in The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
me too.
cried during the
I
reunions. Like, come on,
I
Ben, that whole character, Kylo Ren's one of my favorite characters.
Yep.
hell yeah.
It's like he's Leia's son. Like I love Leia. I collect both of them.
Yep.
So I'm not a hater of really anything, but I agree with that. Like Phantom Menace, I watched. I was younger actually. I want to say I was like 8 or 9. I went and watched it in the theaters. It was the first Star Wars movie I
Mhm.
saw in theaters. I thought it was awesome. As I grew up, like Attack of the Clones was very much. I was in middle school, so I had a crush on Anakin, and I thought I was Padme and all this stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like I really grew up with it, and I remember watching Revenge of the Sith and being like, "That's the greatest movie I've ever
Yeah,
seen."
that Revenge of the Sith is fantastic.
Revenge of the
Not
Sith,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
they ended whether you like the first year or not. They ended with a bang. Like you can't really deny that. Yeah, I feel like that's always my go-to with Star Wars. Is like, are there ones I like more than others? Of course, but like I just like being in that world. So if there's a chance to be in that world again, whether it's a show, whether it's a movie, a book, whatever, like I want to hang out in that world. I want to hang out with my buddies.
Yeah, I mean, if honestly, like if we were to rank all nine of the movies, that one would be my least favorite one.
Yeah.
Episode 1 out of all of them.
And I don't think you'd be that far off. I think a lot of people would feel the same way. That's probably on the bottom rung. But I will say, pod racing scene and Darth Maul lightsaber battle with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, about as good as it gets for Star Wars.
Duel of
just
Fates
set pieces.
is
Really
insane.
good.
I think there's something to be said with like the generations that grew up with it. So I was a middle school teacher not too long ago, and a lot of my kids loved the Force Awakens and all the character Kylo Ren's and stuff because that's the Star Wars they grew up with. So I think as long as we keep having these like generational shifts for Star Wars, everyone will find a connection to it, and that then takes you back to what my parents watched.
Yeah.
You know, or when now they're saying my grandparents watched the original trilogy. So, you know.
Yeah, I think too. Like we're not giving financial advice in this way, but let me just put it this way. Like, I think I've noticed it, especially I'm sure a lot of Star Wars fans have noticed it. A lot of the online discourse surrounding these sequels feels very much like, feels like I'm watching what happened 20 years ago, 25 years ago on repeat. Like a lot of fans, probably a lot of people who were like prequel fans who were like, no, this isn't my Star Wars. I don't like this. I don't like the changes. I don't like the characters. But you're right. Like the kids in 10 years, I mean, it's actually probably going to be happening soon because, gosh, next year's going to be the 10th anniversary of Force Awakens, which is weird to think.
That's wild.
It's really weird to think it's been 10 years.
Damn.
But like I would say that's kind of a marker right there. Like if you are looking at sequel era characters, if you're collecting like Kylo Ren's, Rey, maybe now's the time to be like, you know what, maybe start looking at some of those if you can find them for some good prices and stash those away because there's going to be a whole generation of Star Wars collectors who say, oh, my favorite movie Force Awakens, my favorite movie is The Last Jedi, my favorite character is
Grogu.
Grogu, right? Mandalorian stuff. That's
Mandalorian is
popular,
huge, I
it's only
think.
going to grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it always comes in waves, and if there's another new trilogy, which I kind of hope there's not, kind of want them to tell new stories, then it'll all happen again. You know, this is the way it goes for Star Wars.
Mando's the next era.
Yeah,
That's gonna be awesome.
that is the next one. Which the movie is it next year or is it the year after? I can't remember. We're
I
gonna.
want to say it's next year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that'll be the next big
Isn't
one.
it a movie with Ray? Isn't Ray in it?
So that's a separate one.
Oh.
So Rey's gonna have a movie that takes place after Episode 9, but isn't part of the saga, and it's gonna be like her and Jedi. That's the rumor. I don't know exactly, but I was like, cool, I'm on board. Like, yeah,
I love it. Give me more Disney Plus. I thought Obi-Wan was cool. I love the new animated like Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Jedi. All that stuff's been good.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't really like was Acolyte.
I haven't finished it yet. I've been a little up and down with it. I was like, some episodes I'm like, that was really cool. Some I'm like, okay, this is a little much. Andor's like maybe my favorite Star Wars. That and The Last Jedi are my two favorite like Disney Star Wars things. I will die on The Last Jedi hill forever and ever. Real quick before you leave, I saw a clip of you opening. We're going back, just kind of general pop culture cards. How much of that Topps Chrome Disney have you opened up? Because I think I saw you pull like an
Oh.
incredible super refractor. That was awesome. How's that product been?
I just had my first stream last night actually, so I
Oh,
just
okay.
did 2 cases.
Nice.
It's gorgeous. I was not able to get the Disney 100 stuff in my hands. It was hard last year because
It's very hard.
it blew up like crazy. But I think this year it's half the price. Oh, not even half the price, like a third of the price. The design is gorgeous. It's like a full bleed to touch. It's just nice stock. It's that Italy stock. It's like that old Merlin stock. You know what I mean? Like
Nice.
first year Merlin stock, and the parallels pop. There's like a 101 Dalmatians parallels. They did something similar with Marvel Chrome, and I'm just hoping that the quality remains the same once we start getting Disney product in the US. Q1 is the idea what they announced. So I love this stuff. I think if you were priced out of Disney 100, let's go all in here because they have a lot of the good characters from last year still. It's their second year card, but there's a few rookies like the characters from Inside Out. It's essentially their debut card, so the
Nice.
first time I've run a card, and then You got a lot of characters that didn't make it in the 100 set. Like my favorite characters, one of my favorite Disney movies is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So
Oh man, there's more of
Quasimo,
those.
first year Quasimodo, Esmeralda. I've been joining all the breaks.
I
The
swear
case
to God,
breaks.
I literally just perked up because I'm like, oh my God, it's like one of my favorite movies. I'm like, we exist. We like this movie. I love that movie. so much.
I'm scooping up all the spots. So if
Yeah,
you
I
got a
know.
case break, I'm
Okay.
in.
All right.
Get
All
me for
right. If the
Quasi.
Q spot is available, I'm there. Yeah. The Quasimodo spot. Don't swoop in. I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm excited for the future of it. I also understand like Disney Topps taking over all the Disney stuff, Marvel too. But like I know CRad, you open a lot of the Marvel, like the Upper Deck stuff. I feel like that's one thing. Say what you will about anything of like, we poke fun at Upper Deck with release dates and all that, but like the thing they get right, I feel like, is Marvel. And it's always hyped up. It always is really high quality. Like I
They
feel like
kicked ass with Marvel, but
yeah,
it's time for Tops now.
they have really big shoes to fill. I feel like with
I
Marvel.
think the silver lining there is they're gonna kick ass with DC. Like Batman PMGs are gonna be
Yeah.
sick. They probably have the Warner Brother license in general, so that means we're
Yeah.
probably gonna have like a Tweety PMG. So I'm in
Oh
the
yeah, there's that.
can you
that
imagine a
coming up.
green Marvin the Martian
Ooh,
PMG?
Actually, that
Insane.
So that's what Upper Deck is leaning into now, Warner's Brothers, because they're losing the Marvel and license.
I'm assuming so because I know it's been announced that they will have Batman. So I think
Okay.
Batman is Warner Brother license. So
I
if
don't
you
think I
saw the
realized that.
Kakawao stuff,
Yeah,
a lot of
I'm not
those
mad at that.
IPs.
That's a smart move. I actually did not realize that they're gonna be getting into the DC stuff. Yeah, if they do that, then yeah, that's a perfect move over. And hey, if you feel a certain way about the way the movies are going right now, like it might be the time to get in on DC stuff with the direction everything's going. I feel like very optimistic about the DC movies for the first time in a very long time. So that might be who knows? It might actually benefit Upper Deck in the long run. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's also not a bad idea to hitch your wagon to Disney and all their properties. Like that's also pretty good too. I feel like so.
Yeah, do you see the sales of those two red
I know.
Wolverine and Spider-Mans? Lord.
Good God. Yeah.
17K each?
Jeez.
What the heck?
That's similar, like that's just Stevie Aoki effect. Similar to what happened with like 22 Galaxy Chrome. He was buying a lot of those portrait superfractors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well-
You gotta take that into account.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, hey, Stephanie, it's been real fun talking Star Wars, talking pop culture cards with you. World Series as well. I won't say I'm going to be a Dodger fan for the next few days, but I also will not go on a limb and say this is bad for baseball. That's about the best I can do as a Giants fan is say this is good for baseball, and I'm okay. I'm okay with this. I can accept it.
We'll take it. So I'll be at
There you go.
both games, Friday and Saturday.
Oh, you are.
Mhm.
Oh, nice. Oh my gosh. Well, that's going to be oh my gosh, that's going to be so much fun. World Series game 1 Friday, Saturday. Yeah, who's it? I think it's Flaherty and Cole in game 1. So, gosh, it's going to be incredible. Like it's really weird to think like it's weird the people who are like Dodgers Yankees again. I'm like, what do you mean again? It hasn't happened since like 1981, 1982.
You're not even alive, yeah.
Right. Like this doesn't happen that often. And even like number 1 seeds, like it's good for baseball. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. So Stephanie, great having you on. Let us know, let everybody know where can they find you, where can they follow you, all that good stuff.
Thank you so much for having me on. You can find me on Instagram at Mama Breaks. We also do YouTube vlogs and stuff like that, cool stuff like that. And we're live on Fanatics 6 to 7 days a week at Mama Breaks.
There you go. Make sure to follow. Stephanie, awesome time. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Stephanie Garcia. Real good time talking to her here on The Hype. Doug and Dan are going to be joining us here momentarily. Here, I'll just knock on the door. Hey, we're back. We're back. Yeah, I don't think I realized here that the DC stuff was the pivot.
I didn't realize.
And I feel like that's
I didn't
such
hear
a-
about that, bro.
I feel like that's such a good move on their part to try to retain all that interest and take advantage of the PMG license. Did you guys know this? That it seemed that the talk is, I don't know if it's official or the talk. We were just talking about it with Stephanie. That Doug's alive. That they're Upper Deck's losing Marvel, but they are gonna pivot to DC and get like Batman, Superman, all that stuff.
Who cares?
See, oh man, see, I was making an argument. I think it's smart. Batman, Superman. I mean, maybe this is all
The Green
news.
Lantern.
Okay.
Batman and
Gary Vee
Superman
said
more
that-
iconic than anybody on the Marvel lineup. I
Oh.
will make that.
See,
Maybe
here-
Spider-Man and
here-
Wolverine.
Gary Vee
Here's
said
my-
that the
here's
next
my
wave
issue,
is
though, 'cause
comic cards.
I do know Batman is DC,
He's DC.
and you just said Superman is DC.
Superman.
Okay. And who else?
Green Lantern,
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Aquaman.
Oh. So you sure? You
Movie
sure?
made $1 billion. It was a
you-
big hit.
You sure you
The
would
Joker?
prefer
No. The Joker?
The
DC over-
Joker. All the
Yeah.
Batman villains. Joker, Penguin,
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Marvel's just been such a dominating
Yeah.
license. They're like the Kansas City Chiefs
That's what it is.
of the football era
like,
for comics.
but I remember even like mid 2000s, like when Batman Begins came out, it was like, or like the year Dark Knight and Iron Man came out. They come out the same year, and everyone was like, Iron Man was cool, but like, yeah, Batman's Batman. Like that's the king. Like that's the one we're all gonna watch now. Now it's crazy the environment we're in. I never in a million years would have thought like
I think if you still take a poll,
Becomes an
I
afterthought.
mean, regardless if you like DC or Marvel or whatever, whatever the bigger
Yeah,
name
like
brand
who,
is now,
who is the most
Batman
popular
is still
superhero?
Batman is still one of the top 3 most popular superheroes in the world,
Without
up there
a
with
doubt.
Spider-Man.
without a doubt.
Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man.
No,
Mm.
Iron Man's not close.
Wolverine.
Even though
Is
it's
Super
Robert-
Superman
gotta
up there?
It's got to be
even
Superman.
though it was Robert Downey Jr.
I think Iron Man has cracked
in
the
like,
top
in
5.
like the movie world.
I'm talking to movie world.
Oh, I think it's
Movie world, yeah.
I think Iron Man has at least cracked the top 5. If not, he's in top 4.
What about the Silver Surfer? Never really made it up.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, we need Silver
Such a
Surfer
cool-
back.
Cool comic book character.
I love Silver Surfer. It's the Silver Surfer.
I had about
Who-
a 2-year era of reading comic books.
Who played Silver Surfer?
They did it in one movie.
I think it was a CG character, wasn't it?
It's Lawrence Fishburne, I want to say.
Oh,
Played the voice, but that's it.
yeah, because it was CG.
Yeah, it was all CG. It was a bad movie. Yeah, it was a real bad
Fantastic
movie.
Four and the Silver Surfer.
Before we end the show, we got to talk about the, with the WNBA Select coming out, with the big, Caitlin Clark chase is going to be maybe one of her top 5 cards of all time. Another 1 of 1 pulled by the guys over at the Front Yard. It's another pivotal 1 of 1. Like these guys, if I ever buy like lottery scratchers, I should just fly to Florida and just have them scratch it for me, right? Because it's just like the insane amount of luck these
Was
guys
it the
have.
insert or the base?
It was the base, I believe.
It was,
Because
a
it's-
it was a
base.
concourse.
Because there's 3 levels of base you
Yeah.
can get, so they got 2 of the 3.
They pulled another one.
I thought you told me they pulled one the other day when you talked.
I
That
think
was
this
that
is-
was
this
that
is
was
the
on
one.
Monday. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was on Monday. It was the Superfractor Auto,
Oh,
gold
auto.
vinyl auto
Gotcha.
of, and I don't know, are they going to have blacks in there and
There's
gold
two. There's 2
vinyls?
101s. There's gold vinyl and a black.
Okay, so I mean, there's a lot more 101s to have, but just the luck of these guys is crazy.
Maybe they're just better at it than everybody else.
Clearly.
Maybe they got it in their fingers. Some
Yeah.
people got it, some people don't.
Some people do, some people don't.
They got the breaking gene.
They got it. They got it.
Breaking gene.
It's something that you really can't teach.
no.
You can't.
You got to be born with it.
You
It's
got
like
to
a
be born.
football IQ.
You 100% got to be born with it.
Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's CT scanners. So, I'm sorry, didn't. I'm kidding.
What is that? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's something to follow along with. We'll see how the regular release does compared to the first off the line, which is dropping on Friday. WNBA it's hot. I mean, we got the transcendent player happening right now, and then of course, this will probably be second to Prism. I don't know if they'll do a national treasures of it. They might.
I would imagine they're going high end. At least one high end set that has maybe all of those sets in one.
So it's safe to say nobody has ripped more WNBA than Conrad.
I think that's actually legitimately true.
There's
Yeah.
I think that's
there is-
legitimately true.
There is not a human on this earth that has opened up more WNBA packs than this dude sitting on the couch over here.
That I know I'm laughing, but that actually is true because you think about the first 3 years of WNBA, nobody's ripping it.
And I think that's why we allocated it the way we did.
There's nobody ripping it. Yeah.
Well, I was told we only ordered 2 cases of the last Prism WNBA, so that's why we're not getting much of the select NBA.
BS.
Which
What?
yeah, we only had 2 cases of Prism from said distributor that's
Which
closer
distributor?
here that starts with a G.
3 letters?
BTS.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So
K-pop.
back in August, we
K-pop.
ordered 2 cases of Prism.
How? But we didn't get. Who ordered that?
Apparently, there was some guys that some other shops that were like, we know the select's going to be hot. So this last 6-month period, they were They were dipping back in and ordering up some Prism,
Oh.
some stuff.
But we ordered more Prism. So it's based. So they always extend the goalposts a little bit. So it's based on the last 6 months.
Correct.
So yeah, we've had no reason to go back to the well, but we also were not told, hey, if you go back to the well and you order more, you're going to get more allocation. So you know what? It's
I
going
had
to
a
go
crystal ball.
lies.
I mean, when did Panini? I mean, we didn't even. Panini just signed Caitlin Clark like 3 months ago, right?
Yeah,
4 months
just
ago.
3 months ago,
The
yeah.
official, it went official right. I want to say literally the day after Final Four ended.
There wasn't anybody calling them up asking for previous years of Prism basketball at WNBA. Let's be honest about it. Let's be straight up.
I mean, I'm not.
They
I'm
wanted
not,
to-
I'm
they
not
wanted to take-
denying that.
They wanted to take that allocation, that sweet allocation for Panini, and turn that into big
Money.
money
yeah. You're not wrong.
at our expense. But it's fine. Hey, you know what? We got a great relationship.
Not
with
only
all of
our
our
expense,
distributors.
but the people that are buying is expense.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But I hope it lives up to the hype. I hope the cards continue to sell at the price that the boxes are at. And we'll have a report.
I don't. I hope distributors get stuck holding the bag.
Well, for
I
that,
hope it goes down. Hope it goes down to $200.
then that means, yeah. I mean, exactly. I hope that in a way too, and then it could be affordable for everybody that wants to chase Caitlin Clark.
100%.
But
Then we'll get calls and be like, hey, we got some for you.
But did Sabrina Ionescu, did she win the MVP?
They won. No, she was not MVP of the series. She had a bad last game. Her and Brianna Stewart had a tough last game. Jonquel Jones won, who was a big acquisition for them a couple years ago in a grinder of a Game 5. We were watching it, and it was just like, you could just tell these teams were like gassed, beating each other up. Like, again, Ionescu did not have a great game, but she hit a huge three in the fourth quarter that helped it
Yes.
push it to overtime.
That's what I did
And
see.
had like the most iconic shot of the series of the playoffs. Had a really good series. Had two really good performances. So she's gonna be the one who rides the wave of, if there's gonna be a hobby bump, probably it will be her, and rides that wave of popularity. She's already huge. Like,
We got the Mojo Prism.
I know.
We should sell it. Maybe.
It's true.
Now's
Might be
the
the
time.
time.
I don't know.
Might be the time. Yeah. So good for the Liberty. The first time they've ever won. They were the last inaugural franchise in the league's history to have not won a championship. So good for them. Yeah.
Good for them.
And I like their mascot, Ellie the elephant.
Nice.
She like crumps and like gets down break dances and stuff.
How
I'm
does
like,
she compare to
I'm into this.
Thumper?
Oh, I'm sorry, Thumper. Thumper is the old elephant's game. Ellie is the new elephant of the moment.
I always,
Ellie the elephant's the elephant of the moment.
I always
They're
thought-
all
I-
saying it. Everyone's saying it.
I honestly,
well.
I always thought it was Stomper.
Stomper.
Not-
Oh yeah, it's
not-
Stomper.
Oh.
Is it?
Thumper. Thumper.
Is it Thumper?
But
or
he
is
knew
it-
what I
no,
meant,
is it
Thumper. I know what
Thumper?
you meant.
Is it Thumper or Stomper?
It's Stomper. It's Stomper. Yeah, I'm sorry, Stomper. Stomper was wearing like an Elvis outfit at the Vegas unveiling, and I'm like, what have they done to Stomper?
I don't even recognize
Who
you
are
anymore.
you?
Is he going to Sacramento?
I don't even
No,
recognize you
he's
anymore.
going to Sacramento. He's going to Vegas. too.
Stomper's going to Sac and then going to Vegas. Yeah, Stomper's not leaving. Yeah. So, yeah.
Is there anything else we missed in covering on topics
Well,
today?
I want to actually ask CRad, because we talked NBA last week. We didn't have CRad here to talk NBA. I know this might be kind of throwing you, hopefully not throwing you off too much, but like, just give me real quick a player that you think is undervalued in the hobby heading into the NBA season. Like a couple guys that you think like, I would, if I'm looking to maybe buy a guy or two going into the NBA season that you're high on, give me a couple guys that off the top of your head you think are going to be a breakout star this year.
Alex
Well,
walked in. He's hoping to say De'Aaron
definitely,
Fox.
definitely no Sacramento King.
Moses Moody.
um,
Jonathan
what?
Kuminga.
yeah, okay. Without the risk of sounding super biased, I think Podziemski's gonna have a big breakout second year. I think if you're investing in some of those guys on the New York Knicks, I'm kind of thinking of like guys like maybe Mikal Bridges on the Knicks. He could have a pretty big year over there. Who else? Let me think.
You know, some of the names last week were like Jalen Green that we were talking about.
Well, you know what happened with Jalen Green? the Rockets just re-signed Sengun to a big contract, so they're kind of
Yep.
they chose that means they're choosing
He's their guy.
Sengun over Green. So
Yep.
Green's probably gonna get moved at some point. Even though he had a breakout season when Sengun got injured last year. And then he started playing really well. But yeah, I still like Jalen Green's prospect. What about what about our boy Ben Simmons over there in Brooklyn?
Oh boy, oh boy. You are
It is,
you
it is
are
close to Halloween.
really going out on a limb with that one.
Benjamin Simmons.
I mean,
you know?
look, you can make the argument. He's the only guy left. It's his team right now. Mikal Bridges is out. There's nobody left. It's Ben Simmons.
I just keep thinking about like how well he played before all the
It's
mental stuff.
really crazy.
It's like he was like a top 5 player in the NBA, and then all of a sudden he just like misses. He passes on one free throw, and his life is like completely over.
It is wild the shift. Like I don't know if you think it was a top 5 in the NBA at one point?
No.
He could have been.
He could have been.
Well, he falls under the Kardashian curse too, right? Another one bites the dust
Yeah.
there.
Possibly, yeah.
But you're right.
He
A
dated
lot of
Kendall.
it, I think all of it, even the injury stuff, like at a certain point, like if you know, I don't know. It's like when you think like, oh, I'm feeling sick, and then the more you think it, you actually start feeling sick. Like I think that plays a part in it too. Of looks like you can't ever get over that hump
I think
physically and it mentally, and then it affects you physically.
Yeah.
I think Clay's going through that.
Yeah,
I think Klay
Yeah.
Thompson's got a little bit of that
he
going
went
on
through
right
a little
now.
bit of that. Yeah.
How
Yep.
bad is 2021 in sports from basketball to baseball to football, really? That year, 21
It's
22,
suddenly pretty tough.
21
know-
football.
you know what,
What's,
you
who's
know-
in 21 baseball?
you know
Baum?
what-
Alec Bohm?
It's
Yeah.
not good. Alec Bohm, the best rookie right now in 21 baseball is Jazz Chisholm and Alec Bohm.
No, 21.
Jazz Chisholm's in the World Series.
21 draft for basketball still has upside. Obviously, you don't feel super great about Cade as the number 1 pick that year, but you know what saves the 2021 year though for the hobby? It was the 75th anniversary of the NBA. So
the only
every
thing.
product has a 75th anniversary special insert
That's a good point.
that is still some of the most sought after cards in every single set.
So they lucked out there.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking about it. I mean, that's got to be the worst 3 together in the last since we've been breaking.
Yeah, if
Now.
you look at it in totality, I don't know, 2022
13.
could
Yeah, but didn't you still have like you had Judge? I mean, we didn't know it at the time.
At the time, you didn't know. If you're talking all sports.
I'm looking at basketball.
basketball's
13.
bad then.
13, it was the worst.
I think no doubt 21. If you wanted like in a post hobby boom, maybe from 2018 on, 21 right now is looking like the toughest.
Overall.
And you
I mean,
didn't
in that
in,
stretch.
In 2013, you were not chasing Judge. You had Judge,
No,
but you weren't chasing Judge.
actually,
you had
we were.
Giannis, you weren't chasing Giannis.
No, we were
it was
looking
like
back
20,
at some.
2017 is when Judge. That was when his
That was his
rookie
rookie year.
Yeah,
We were
4 years
looking
later.
back at some trying to find some big Judge hits to post up leading up to the World Series, and yeah, I was looking at 2013 stuff. It was Carlos Correa, it
Puig.
was Bucks, it was Puig, Buxton first Bowman.
Yeah,
that year?
Buxton and Correa were in the same
Yep,
Bowman.
they were the
Yeah.
same Bowman, and a couple other guys. But yeah,
Man,
Judge was
yeah.
not the chase.
Yasiel Puig.
Actually, you know what? We still have hope for the 21-22 because we still probably have Upper Deck product coming out, right? So we don't even know what's going to happen because they're still going to have the 21-22 Cup coming out. Some of the
Did,
OPG
did
Platinums.
it come out?
No, just
I
kidding.
don't even know.
It
There's
came
like part
out.
of me is like, wait, like actually digging my brain. Did it come out? I don't know. Actually, 21 rookie. That actually is maybe not a bad investment right now. Joey Bart.
Mm.
As much as
I'm not talking about
as
that.
much as that pains me to say,
Yeah, but we got Pat Bailey. It's not that bad.
he's doing all right. He's good. He's a good defensive catcher. Let's put it that way.
Cool.
You guys, check out Mojobreak.com for we've got Stadium Club Chrome today, which has been rocking. On that note too, I heard breaking news that somebody completed the Ronaldo Rainbow, and they get the gold 101 Ronaldo card and a trip to
The
the
Grail?
Oh, I
They-
saw
somebody
that.
So they must have completed the Grail based on today's release, is what I'm assuming.
Okay.
And they got that 9th mosaic. So you had to collect 9 of the different
Which is tough.
stained glass. What are they called?
I thought they were called Grail cards.
They're called
no?
Grail. Yeah, 9 Grail cards of Ronaldo throughout his career, and the first person to say, "Hey, I did it," gets that 101 gold plate of Ronaldo and a trip to the whatever the final is, right? For
I want to say it
The
would be.
UEFA
I'd have
Cup?
to look it up. Yeah, it'll just be the UEFA final, which
That's
would be
tight.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I saw that card popping up. That's really cool. That's what it's going to be.
Because I know we've pulled a few of the ones. They're not easy to pull, but
They're not.
we've had a few over the time, and they're like a couple $1,000 cards.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But yeah, Stadium Club Chrome's been rocking. Is Jamal in that? Lamine Jamal in
Yep.
Stadium Club Chrome? Okay. So we got the chase with him.
There you go. I've got the I got the picture of that card that you're talking about right here. There it is. There's
Oh,
Ronaldo.
wow.
Yeah, look at that thing.
That's crazy.
Made of solid gold. That's really cool.
Every Cristiano Ronaldo collector is frothing in the mouth to get to
That's
this card.
really really.
And that looks a
cool.
lot better than the bust they made of him 5
They
years
should
ago.
have been the bust on that card. That'd have been the only way to
What
make
it-
it better.
What did that look like? Could you pull that one up?
Yeah,
wasn't
I'll
that
find
the
it.
worst bust of any athlete ever in the history of athletes?
I think
They're
all I have to
usually
do is
never
look
that
up
good, though, right?
Ronaldo
The bust of-
statue. There it is. Here, let me find him. There you go. It's not the here. 1 second. Let me get a little.
I know this
zoom
isn't
in
great
on this.
radio, but
Hey, that's fine. Hey, look, we got to
It's only a good
show
laugh.
you guys this. Yeah. And there he is.
That's pretty accurate.
That is rough.
oh, what happened to the eyes there, dude?
Dude, a lot going on. Very gummy. That I think he's a lot more gummy here than he usually is.
That's like
The head is
from that's like
lopsided.
Ronaldo in a horror movie, like or
Yeah.
something. You know, it's like Killer Ronaldo's are on the loose.
That's Ronaldo getting taken over by the Thing right
Yeah.
there. That's what that is. That is rough.
I'm
Eesh.
surprised somebody approved that. I'm like, yeah, go with it. It's like, well, it was really hard to make. I can't really redo it again, so we're gonna roll with it. So
I'm redoing that. If I saw that, I'm Ronaldo, and I'm like,
I think
no,
they
you're
did. I think they
redoing
just
it.
tossed that thing. You're like, yeah, we're
Okay.
no, we're done. It's like that person who tried to fix the painting. If you remember that, like the Renaissance painting, and then it just like got erased, so they tried to like paint over it, and it's like a little smiley face or something.
Mm.
It's rough. Yeah.
nice. Well, I think that'll end the show. I'd like to thank Stephanie for coming on and talking some Marvel and some Star Wars and all that other fun stuff. So a great interview as always. A great friend of ours. Have done a lot of things over the years. And check her out at Mama Breaks on Fanatics Live, Mama Breaks on Instagram as well. And we'll see you guys next week on The Hype. Peace.